So in our previous segment, we were talking about where does the water reside, and so now we want to talk about why is the water going to begin to move. And ultimately, this is going to be caused by gravity. So gravity is going to pull everything down. We found in the previous lesson that gravity causes mass wasting. It causes rocks to move down. We also found out that gravity causes a river to flow. And notice that in all of these conditions, it always went from high to low. So in this case, water is going to flow from high pressure to low pressure. And the pressure is going to be caused by gravity. So another name for this pressure is going to be called hydraulic head. And so our formula is going to be P for pressure is going to be equal to the density of the water multiplied by gravity. So this is called the acceleration due to gravity, but it's essentially gravity. And then it's also going to depend on the height. So that, let's say that you've got some water that's up here, and then you've got some water that's down here. And then let's say that this is some reference point. You can really pick any reference point that you want, but most of the time the reference point is going to be sea level. So you're going to have a certain height h from sea level to where that water is located at, and then you're going to have a certain reference up to this one here. So the change in height, which is going to be this thing right here, that change in height is going to cause a pressure that is going to make this water want to go down to here. So water is going to flow in the direction from high pressure to low pressure, and it's going to be based on the height. So if you have two water sources that are at the same height, there's not going to be any reason for the water to want to go from here over to here, because they would both have the same hydraulic head at that point. Okay, another concept is slope, and so this is called the hydraulic gradient, but we already talked about the term gradient when we talked about rivers, and we said that a river would be flowing on top of a sloped ground. And we found the slope of the ground by measuring the sideways distance and comparing that to the up and down distance. So slope is going to be rise over run. So it's going to be the change in the height divided by the change in the sideways part. And that's going to be the slope. It's the same slope that you would use in geometry. All right, so let's take a break, and when we come back, let's talk about Darcy's law.